Better go get it.
It's bet it, don't regret it.
Oh.
So tell them.
Better go get it.
Bet it.
Bet it.
Or regret it. Regret it. All right. You say bet it, I say regret it. All right, say. Go.
Regret it.
No, you say bet it.
Bet it.
Or regret it. UFC. Bet it or regret it. Recap. Let's go over it, man. UFC Nocheufc. A lot of people been asking for it, so I'm here to do it, man. I'm going to go over a recap, okay? And I'm going to let you guys know, man. Hey, how would you guys do it? Did you guys bet it? Did you regret it? Or did you, is it something that you guys would do going forward? And also, man, let's just talk about the fights, man, because it was an epic event. 10 fights. I ordered the pay-per-view. I will say this. The first fight that kicked off, from the minute it kicked off, I was expecting a little bit more from the senior in the background. And I could say the same about the fight. Let's talk about it. Raul Rojas opened up like a -800 favorite. He closed out at -1,000. Some of the books was giving us Rojas to win by submission like -160. A lot of people bet it. I was one of them. And I will say, I regret it, man. I regret it, man. I knew Richie Lang was a tough guy, right? But I was just thinking that no matter what, Raul Rojas was going to go relentless with the takedowns. But he wasn't, man. In this fight, he was way more patient. He did show, though, that his striking is getting better, and he's showing that he's just trying to go out there and win fights and not go out there and lose it all in the first round. And that's his energy and his cardio. So I get it, but the fight went 15 minutes. He got on the mic and said, Dana, give me 50 G's. When it's all said and done, I like the guy. He's 19 years old. I was a fan. I got to see him fight live against Jay Perrin. That fight, I thought I was getting something else, so that's why. So I'm expecting more, because when I seen him fight live, that's how he showed up against Jay Perrin. But in this one, he closed out a -1,000 favorite. And yeah, going forward, I'm gonna just be watching him. It's something to where people are playing him always to win inside the distance. But going forward, something I gotta watch. Second fight, man. This one was a good one. Edgar Chairez versus Joshua Van. That first round was great. Edgar Chairez was a big underdog, and Joshua Van took this fight on short notice. Let's talk about it. So in this one, I did have Joshua Van in a parlay, okay? Edgar Chairez, though, in that first round, man, he had me shook, man, because, he was looking live. He was catching him with punches. But then that's the same story. Joshua Van, we always know, he always takes that first round off, and he did. But, boy, did he come back. And, man, he got the job done, man. You know what I mean? So I actually think, it was a good fight. He actually won by unanimous decision, on the scorecards, too. That was the second fight of the night. That was a good fight, though, Going forward, yeah, Joshua Van's always going to be somebody I'm going to be trying to bet. I don't regret never putting money on him, usually. All right, next fight. Bet it or regret it. Dun, 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 dun. Yasmin Yaguri took on Caitlin Souza. Hey, Asen, do you regret it betting this one, or are you gonna bet Yasmin again? Are you gonna bet her again?
Mm-hmm.
Or no?
Yes.
So okay, let's talk about it. Yasmin Yaguri, man. I regret it. I had her in a big parlay with a lot of stuff to close in with it, man. She opened up at a -350, went all the way up to a -600, came down around -500. And she came out there and, she was getting hit earlier on, with like some low blows and stuff. She had to take some time with the ref, but point blank, bro, she got knocked out once again, you know what I mean? Actually, no, she got choked out, man. I mean, she got dropped and then she got choked out. So Yasmin Yaguri, I'm sorry, I did bet it. I had it in a parlay, but no matter what, that parlay that we made, it was doomed from when it was made, man, because we had legs in it that shouldn't have never been made in it. With that being said, man, this is the second time she's let down as a big favorite on the card. And she only got touched like a little bit in the chin. It wasn't even like, a back-to-back war. And I look at it like she got dropped both times in the first round when she lost. So now I regret it, and it's something that I'm not going to be going forward with. But shout out to Caitlin Souza. That's something I'm going to be watching, though, man. What about this one, though? Manuel Torres took on Ignacio Bahamondes. I thought this was going to be fight of the night. I did. Only thing is, it didn't get out the first round, folks. And the fighter that you thought was probably not going to get out the first round, it wasn't him, man. Manuel Torres, listen, hear me out. He opened up like plus money, right? Hopped on him then. I was like, hell yeah, got him at a good plus money price tag. He came all the way into the favorite at a -120, right? And in this fight, I don't know what was going on, but he was just standing out there, not really striking and getting dropped. He got dropped 3 times in the first round by Ignacio Bahamondes, man. And then he got finished. He was fighting out there looking reckless, which he always does. But this wasn't the same Manuel Torres. It was weird. It was like he would get hit and then come up and look weird and awkward again and then try to hit you and then get rocked again. And it's, oh, man, yeah, but going into that fight, I was a fan of both of these fighters, but I just thought that Manuel Torres, you know, was going to have that finish capability real earlier on, you know, and I got him at plus money. But it wasn't nothing that I was trying to tell people like, oh, hell yeah, man, this guy's going to win for sure, this and that. No, I'm just letting you know what I had. I had him at a plus money price tag. Definitely, I bet it. I do regret it because I lost, you know what I mean? I wish I would have maybe went with Ignacio Bahamondes, but with that being said, nah, man. I mean, I'm still going to look at Manuel Torres maybe later on in line, but I can't go with him in the next fight just off of what I've seen. His defense looked real suspect to me. And if you're going out there fighting like that for my money, I'm going to have to take a pause for a minute, man. But I'm still watching fights and everything like that. And I will say this. I do not regret it. Betting on Manuel Torres, I don't regret it just because, you know, I got it at plus money. And I thought he was going to win. You know, and it's a 50-50 fight. What more can you ask for? Can't get them all right. All right, man, let's keep going over the recap at the Sphere. So at this time, you know, you got the main event of the prelims kicking off now, you know, so I'm starting to see, you know, if they're starting to do anything now different with the visuals. Now we got Irene Aldana coming in against Norma Dumont. What you guys think about that fight? Did you guys have money on it? I'll tell you about my story. I did. I snatched up Norma Dumont like way earlier on when this card got announced. I think that was probably one of my first bets. It was like -120. -125, and I thought like, all right, cool, I got it at a good number. It's probably gonna get up to -140. Man, I got that number so early. Money came in on Irene Aldana, and everybody was betting on her. Norma Dumont came all the way down to a -105, -115, -110. I didn't even blink. I didn't think that, oh man, you know, I'm on the wrong side. Hell no, man. I doubled up like Doublemint gum. Got a better price on it too. You know, I played her at -110 too. Like, that was one of my more confident bets on the card. And oh my gosh, that fight. She went out there and didn't use the takedowns. She went for one takedown and didn't get it. They were just out there striking back and forth. You seen Irene Aldana's head? Look up the cut on the scar. Oh my gosh, and that's the second fight that she performed like that in, coming off that Cal Rosa, you know, fight. But yeah, I had Norma Dumont in there. That was one of the better fights on the card. I will say that. You know, I bet it. I definitely don't regret it. You know, I've been on Big Norm now, you know, I think for the last 3 or 4 fights now. So let's keep it going. Main card came around. All right, now this is when the graphics and the visuals came out to play, and I was like, all right, cool. I'm glad I got the pay-per-view. They started to show, you know, Ronaldo Rodriguez, his story as a kid. The background started changing, everything like that at the Sphere. Then they did the same thing with Odie Osborne, and this fight was great, folks. The first round was crazy. Odie Osborne had Ronaldo Rodriguez pretty much dropped, okay, and I thought it was multiple times that the ref could have stopped it, okay. But he didn't. The fight went on, and then the second round changed. Ronaldo Rodriguez, you know, had Odie Osborne just down, you know, and he won that round. Then the third round happened, and a lot of people think that Odie Osborne should have won, but I do think Ronaldo Rodriguez did a little bit enough with the hometown crowd and everything like that, getting that takedown at the end of the fight. But it was a great fight, and it was crazy. Ronaldo Rodriguez opened up at a -135, closed at a -200. I bet on him at a -130. I bet it. I don't regret it. Going forward, though, I'm still going to be betting on him, too. And, yeah, he didn't show me anything in there too much to regret it at a -130. I just, that fight was like him going out there wild. And I think the ref should have stopped it in the first round for Odie Osborne. But he didn't. So we won and we kept going. But what y'all think? Because that was the second fight that was just crazy. Right? You remember that fight? You remember it? Mm-hmm. All right, man. So, next fight to kick off the main card, who was it? It was Daniel Zellhuber versus Esteban Rubiks. Daniel Zellhuber opened up like -260 on the boards, and Esteban Rubiks was a big dog, +180, +190. I hopped on him. As soon as that number came out, I had a play on him. And that fight, I didn't care if I even lost that bet because that was one of the best fights of the year. They were going back and forth. First round was a filler out, you know, but it wasn't. They were striking. And Esteban, I thought, edged the first round. Second round, you know, Zellhuber, damn, definitely took the second round. third round, it was 1-1. And Esteban Rubic had Daniel Zuber looking like he was on ice skates, man. And then Daniel Zuber came back. And then he started striking him. So it was a great fight, man. And the scorecards got announced. They said Esteban Rubic won. I thought the right fighter won in that one. You know, Esteban Rubic pretty much looked like he had Zuber out. But then Zuber, he got that championship spirit and he came back and he started striking him, man. It was just a great fight. What you guys think, man? I think that was the best fight on the night. I know it was the best fight on the night. My bad. It was probably one of the best fights of the year. Nominated right now. Let me know in the comments, man. Let me know. And who did you guys have on the side? And who did you guys really think won? I didn't think Esteban won just because I had money on him. I thought it was close. And I was even, you know, I thought it was close. But I thought Esteban really won. I thought he won the first and the third. 2 rounds. That's what we needed to get done. And, man, fight of the night, man. And then the next fight came on. Diego Lopes, Brian Ortega. This fight was a rematch, you know, that was already booked once before. In that fight, Diego Lopes was like -130. So I got to the window out of -170. I bet it. I do not regret it. I'm going to keep betting on Diego Lopes, you know, going forward. And, man, he put on a great performance, you know, going 15 minutes in there. Had him dazed in the first round, you know. But then Diego Lopes, he actually slowed down in the fight, you know. And Ortega, if he would have came live and maybe a little bit more active, maybe we would have seen the different results. But we didn't. And Diego Lopes, I will say, he put on a good performance in there. At the end of the day, if you guys seen Brian Ortega's face, man, it was bad, man. I mean, bad. Let me know what you guys had on that fight. I know a lot of people might be saying that, you know, Brian Ortega, you know, shouldn't be fighting at this weight class now, and he's gonna probably step up, as he was saying. But I don't think that Brian Ortega is washed, folks. I just think that he's been fighting better fighters that's just way better than him, you know. Like, that's all it is, you know. So yeah, shout out to T City, man. Yeah. But, yeah, man, big fan of Diego Lopes. Then the co-main event came on, and Valentina Shevchenko, man, and I had a money bet on her. Why? Because, man, you guys were tripping not betting on her plus money. That fight was so boring, though. I'm not even going to waste your time and recap it, man. But Valentina Shevchenko did what I thought, used the takedowns, and, man, Grasso couldn't get up for nothing. I mean, for nothing. So, yeah, big plus money price tag on her. Nah, not big plus money, but we did some big money on her, okay? When that fight... So this is how my night went. When that fight ended, I was straight. The Yasmin parlay I had with everybody, that shit had me down. But when the Manuel Torres loss hit me, it hurt me, right? So at that point, I was on stream and I told people, I need my Dumont, I need Esteban, I need Lopez, Rodriguez, and Shevchenko. That's the only way I could come back. And guess what? She won. And I was celebrating, folks, because I got to watch the main event. Didn't really matter what happened, right? I thought Sugar Sean O'Malley was going to win. I picked him in my prediction. Went on him, you know, later on. But when it's all said and done, I had a bet on Merab Dvalishvili on one of my books way earlier on at a -130. Just not enough money to even, you know, mention or anything like that. But looking back at it, you know, I should have just stuck with that and kept going. But I got convinced, though, on the other side and thinking that, you know, Sugar Sean was going to come out there. But let's talk about that fight. Sean O'Malley did nothing. Like, I don't get it. He was throwing 1 strike at a time. I had my brother over, and he was like, what is this guy doing? Like, it was a bad look. So imagine the average fighter now at the Sphere. Let's talk about the walkout. The walkout was so dope. I mean, Sugar Sean's walkout was epic. And, you know, Grasso's walkout and Lopez walkout. This is when they start showing all the histories about the Sphere and everything like that. That experience was nice. The walkout was great. The performances, the last 2, sucked. And Sugar Sean, man, it just didn't look like he was himself, man. Like, he wasn't even trying to fight. He was throwing 1 strike at a time. Merab started off the fight. And Tim Welch started talking to him. He started saying, no, talking to Tim Welch, calling the timeout. The ref started talking to him. It was so weird, you know. But overall, that fight wasn't it, man. And I bet on Sugar at the end, you know, and I regret it, you know what I mean? Because I did have a bet on another book on Merab. But at that time, it was like this, you know, like I was just going with my gut. And my gut feeling, I was just thinking that Sean might be able to touch him up and catch him with the KO power going backwards on his footwork. But he didn't. And going forward, I always bet on Merab. That fight was my first one ever, and I regret it. I regret really not betting on it. What's up, man?
I'm over the golden.
All right, cool. Go ahead. So, going over the recap, okay? It was spots on this card. I went 7-3. I'm not mad at all. I made money this week, okay? But it was some things that I regret. I'll see you guys next time, next event, and see what we can bet. MMA locker room here, man. Let me know in the comments, man. I just did this just off the strength. I'm going to start doing recaps on the events. People were asking for it and asking about it. I'm going to talk about the bad bets, the predictions, just how it goes and stuff, you know. But, yeah, let me know what you guys are doing out there, man. MMA locker room here, okay? See you guys soon.